The church was perfect, hundreds of guests, imported flowers, a bride in an expensive dress. Kai Harlan, billionaire tech mogul, Atlanta's most eligible bachelor, stood at the altar, ready to say, "I do." The priest opened his mouth to speak, and that's when the doors burst open. A woman in tattered clothes ran down the aisle, dirty, thin, barefoot. Security rushed toward her. The bride screamed, but before anyone could stop her, the woman grabbed the billionaire's arm and pulled him toward her. "Please," she whispered, "please look at me." Kai looked at her face, and the moment he recognized her, he fell to his knees, because he knew that face. He had searched for it, and now he understood why she had come. Now, before I tell you what happened next, I need you to do something for me. If you love stories with twists you never see coming, stories that make your jaw drop and your heart race, hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because this story, it's about to take a turn that will leave you speechless. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. The day was supposed to be the happiest of Kai Harlan's life. The day he married the woman of his dreams. At least, that's what he thought. The Cathedral of Christ the King in Atlanta had never looked more beautiful. Thousands of white roses flown in from Ecuador. Crystal chandeliers brought from Italy, a peace orchestra playing Handel as guests took their seats. Hundreds of Atlanta's most powerful people filled the pews. Senators, CEOs, celebrities, everyone who mattered. And at the altar stood Kai Harlan, handsome in a custom Tom Ford tuxedo that cost more than most people's cars. His company, Harlan Technologies, was worth billions. His face had been on the cover of every major business magazine. He had houses in Atlanta, Dubai, and a city, private jets, a yacht, everything a man could want. And today he was getting the final piece, a beautiful wife, Nadia Ellis, Nadia to her friends. She walked down the aisle like a queen, an expensive Vera Wang gown, a diamond tiara that once belonged to European royalty, a smile that could launch 1,000 magazine covers. She was stunning, the kind of woman other women envied and men dreamed about. And in minutes, she would be Mrs. Harlan. Kai watched her approach, his heart full. This is it, he thought. Everything I've worked for, everything I've built, it all means something now. His best friend, Malik Thorne, stood beside him as best man. Malik leaned in and whispered, "You ready, brother?" More than ready. But something flickered in Malik's eyes, something Kai didn't notice. Doubt. Malik had never liked Nia, never trusted her. He'd tried to warn Kai 100 times, "She's not right for you. Something about her is off." But Kai wouldn't listen. He was in love, or what he thought was love. Nia reached the altar. Her father placed her hand in Kai's. "Take care of my daughter," the old man said. "With my life," Kai replied. The priest began, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the union of Kai and Nadia in holy matrimony." The words washed over the crowd. Beautiful, traditional, perfect. If anyone has any reason why these two should not be joined in marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. Silence. The priest smiled and continued. "Do you, Kai Harlan, take Nadia?" Bang! The cathedral doors exploded open. Every head turned. And there, silhouetted against the afternoon sun, stood a woman, thin, dirty, clothes torn and stained, no shoes on her feet. She looked like she had walked through hell to get here. The crowd gasped. "Security!" Someone shouted. 2 guards rushed toward her, but the woman was faster. She ran down the aisle, her bare feet slapping against the marble floor. "Stop her!" Nia screamed. The woman dodged one guard, ducked under another, and before anyone could stop her, she reached the altar. She grabbed Kai's arm with both hands. Her grip was weak, her body trembling, as she looked like she might collapse at any moment, but her eyes burned with desperate determination. "Please," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Please look at me." Kai stared at her, confused, horrified, ready to push her away, And then he looked at her face, really looked, past the dirt, past the sunken cheeks, past the suffering written on her skin. He saw her eyes, deep brown eyes with a ring of gold around the pupils. Eyes he had seen once before, in a burning car on a highway. Kai's world stopped spinning, his knees buckled, and in front of hundreds of guests, the billionaire fell to his knees. "Lena," he whispered. The woman smiled, a weak, tired, beautiful smile. "You remember?" And then she collapsed in his arms. And to understand why Kai Harlan fell to his knees, you have to go back to a night that changed everything. A city. Nigeria. Kai was a university student with big dreams and empty pockets. He had grown up poor in a village. His father was a carpenter. His mother sold vegetables at the market. They sacrificed everything to send their only son to university. Education is the key, his mother always said. Get your degree. Build a better life. Kai took those words to heart. He studied computer science during the day and worked security at a hotel at night. He slept hours, ate one meal, saved every penny. He was going to make something of himself. That night, Kai was taking a bus home from his night shift. The highway was dark. The driver was tired, and no one saw the truck coming. The collision was catastrophic. The bus flipped, glass shattered, metal screamed. When Kai opened his eyes, he was trapped. The bus was on fire. Flames licked at his legs. Smoke filled his lungs. He couldn't move. His leg was pinned under a twisted seat. This is how I die, he thought, in a burning bus, alone. He closed his eyes and waited for the end. And then he felt hands, small hands, strong hands, pulling at the metal that trapped him. "Hold on, I'm getting you out." A girl's voice, young, determined. Kai opened his eyes and saw her, thin, wearing a tattered school uniform that was already covered in soot. She was pulling at the metal with her bare hands, her fingers bleeding. "Leave me," Kai gasped. "Save yourself." "Shut up," she snapped. "I'm not letting you die." She pulled harder, screamed with effort, and somehow, impossibly, she bent the metal enough for Kai to slide his leg free. She grabbed him under the arms and dragged him toward the emergency exit. The flames were everywhere now. The heat was unbearable, but she didn't stop. She kicked out the emergency door and pulled Kai through, tumbling onto the highway with him. They hit the ground hard. Kai rolled onto his back, gasping for air, staring at the stars. Beside him, the girl lay panting, her school uniform smoking. "You're insane," Kai whispered. "You could have died." The girl laughed, a beautiful, exhausted laugh. "So could you. But here we are." Kai turned to look at her. That's when he saw her eyes. Deep brown with a ring of gold around the pupils. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lena. Lena Voss." "I'm Kai, and I owe you my life." She smiled. "Then live a good one, that's all I ask." In the distance, sirens wailed. Help was coming. Kai's vision began to blur. The pain from his injuries was overwhelming. "Stay with me," he murmured. "I want to thank you properly." But when the ambulance arrived and Kai woke up in the hospital, Lena was gone. He asked the nurses, asked the police, asked everyone. No one knew who she was. No one had seen where she went. The girl who saved his life had vanished like a ghost. Kai searched for her. He hired investigators, posted rewards, visited every hospital, every school, every village in the region. Nothing. It was like she had never existed. But Kai never forgot. He kept a sketch of her face, drawn from memory, in his wallet, everywhere he went. "Who's that?" Nadia had asked once, early in their relationship. "Someone I owe everything to," Kai had replied. Nia had rolled her eyes and changed the subject. She never understood, but Kai never stopped looking. And now, Lena had found him. While Kai cradled Lena's unconscious body, chaos erupted in the cathedral. But the biggest chaos was happening in Nia's heart, because her perfect plan was falling apart. "What is happening?" Nia's scream echoed through the church. She stormed toward Kai, her expensive dress dragging behind her. her face twisted with fury. "Who is this woman? Why are you touching her? We're in the middle of our wedding." Kai didn't even look at her. He was on his knees, cradling Lena in his arms, checking her pulse, brushing the hair from her face. "She's burning up," he said to Malik. "Call an ambulance, now." Malik already had his phone out, on it. Nia grabbed his shoulder. "Are you listening to me? Put that dirty woman down and finish this wedding." Kai finally looked up at her, and the look in his eyes made her step back, cold, hard, like he was seeing her for the first time. "This woman," he said quietly, "saved my life. She pulled me from a burning bus with her bare hands while everyone else ran away." The crowd murmured. "I don't care," Nia shrieked. "That was a go. I'm your bride. I'm standing right here. Now, put her down and—" "Nia!" Kai's voice was ice. "One more word and this wedding is over." Nia's mouth snapped shut, but her eyes were pure venom. Mrs. Ellis, Nia's mother, rushed to her daughter's side. "What is going on?" she hissed. "Control this situation." "I'm trying, Mama, try harder. Do you know how much money we've invested in this wedding, in this man? If you lose him now, we lose everything." That was the truth of it. The Ellis family wasn't wealthy. They had the appearance of wealth, the designer clothes, the luxury apartment, the expensive taste. But it was all a facade. They were drowning in debt, and Naya's marriage to Kai was their ticket out. It had all been planned from the beginning. Mrs. Ellis had researched Atlanta's eligible billionaires. She had identified Kai, rich, charitable, and known for his soft heart. She had orchestrated their chance meeting at a charity gala. She had coached Nia on exactly what to say, what to wear, how to act. Every moment of their relationship had been carefully calculated, and now this nobody from his past, was ruining everything. Mrs. Ellis leaned close to Nia. "Listen to me. That woman looks half dead already. Let him have his moment. Play the supportive fiancé when she's gone. You finish what we started." Nia took a breath, composed herself. She walked over to Kai and knelt beside him, her voice suddenly soft. "Baby, I'm sorry. I was just shocked. Of course, you should help her. She saved your life. Let me help too." Kai glanced at her. He wanted to believe she had a heart. He wanted to believe the woman he was about to marry was capable of compassion. "Thank you," he said quietly. But Malik was watching, and Malik had seen the look in Nia's eyes before she put on her mask. He knew exactly what she was. The ambulance came. Lena was rushed to the hospital, and slowly, the truth of what she had been through came to light. The doctor said she was severely malnourished, dehydrated, suffering from late-stage kidney failure. She needed a transplant urgently. Without one, she had little time to live. Kai sat by her bedside, waiting for her to wake up. He canceled the wedding, sent all the guests home, ignored the calls from Nia. None of it mattered. Only Lena mattered. When she finally opened her eyes, the first thing she saw was him. "You're here," she whispered. "I'm here, and I'm not leaving." Tears formed in her eyes. "I looked for you," Kai said. "Everywhere." "Why did you disappear?" Lena turned away. The pain in her face wasn't physical. "Because I wasn't worth finding." "What do you mean?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then she told him everything. After the accident, Lena had gone home, but home wasn't safe. Her stepfather was a cruel man, a drunk. He beat her mother, beat her, took whatever money they had and drank it away. When Lena came home with burns on her hands and soot in her lungs, he didn't ask if she was okay. He demanded to know why she wasn't at school. Why she would embarrass him by looking like a dirty street girl. The next day, he sold her. Sold her to a madam who promised she would have a better life in Europe. Lena was young. The better life was a lie. She was trafficked, forced to work, beaten when she resisted, moved from country to country like cargo. She lived in hell when she finally escaped. She had nothing, no money, no papers, no way home. She worked her way back, cleaning houses, washing clothes, sleeping on streets, and in shelters. She never stopped thinking about the boy she saved from the burning bus. She followed his story from afar, saw him build his company, saw him become a billionaire, saw him get engaged. She was happy for him, but she never tried to contact him. "Why not?" Kai asked, tears streaming down his face. "I would have helped you. I would have given you anything." Lena smiled weakly. "Because you didn't owe me anything, Kai. I saved you because it was right, not for a reward." "Then why come now? Why today?" She looked at him with those golden brown eyes. "Because I'm dying, and I wanted to see your face one more time, just to know that the life I saved was a good one." Kai broke down. He held her hand and wept. "It wasn't good enough," he said. "Not while you were suffering, but I'm going to fix that. I'm going to save you now." "Kai, no, you saved my life. Now I'm saving yours." Kai attacked the problem like he attacked every business challenge. With everything he had, he flew in the best nephrologists from around the world. He offered a reward for a matching kidney donor. He had every member of his staff tested for compatibility. Nothing worked. Lena had a rare blood type. Finding a match was nearly impossible. Time passed, and her condition worsened. Kai barely ate, barely slept. He lived at the hospital, reading to her, talking to her, refusing to let go. Nia, meanwhile, was furious. She came to the hospital once, perfectly dressed, perfectly made up to check on her dear fiancé. "Baby, you need to come home. You're exhausting yourself. Let the doctors handle this. She's just a stranger." Kai looked at her. "She's not a stranger. She's the reason I'm alive, and I'm not leaving until she is, too." Nia's mask slipped for just a moment. That cold, calculating look returned. "And what about our wedding? We have deposits to consider. Guests who flew in from other countries. Are you just going to throw all that away for for someone who was willing to die for me?" "Yes, I am," Nia stormed out. But before she left, she made a phone call. "Mama, this is getting out of control. We need to do something. Now." Mrs. Ellis had an idea. A terrible, dark, desperate idea. If they couldn't separate Kai from Lena through persuasion, maybe they could separate them permanently. She made some calls, called in some favors, found someone who could handle problems like this, someone who could make a dying woman disappear forever. After all, she was already dying. Who would even notice? But someone did notice. Malik. He had never trusted the Ellises, and he had been watching them carefully. When he saw Mrs. Ellis meeting with a suspicious-looking man in the hospital parking lot, he knew something was wrong. He followed them, listened, recorded, and what he heard made his blood run cold. "Just make sure it looks natural. She's already sick and no one will question it." Malik had to warn Kai. Malik burst into Lena's hospital room with his phone in hand. What he revealed would change everything. "Kai, you need to hear this. Now." Kai looked up from Lena's bedside. "What is it?" Malik played the recording, Mrs. Ellis's voice filled the room. "Just make sure it looks natural. She's already sick. No one will question it." The man's voice. "And the payment? Half now. Half when it's done. But it needs to happen tonight, before he does something stupid like marry her instead." Silence. Kai's face went from confusion to disbelief to pure rage. Is that Nia's mother?" "Yes, she's trying to kill Lena." "Yes." Kai stood up slowly. His hands were shaking. Not from fear, from fury. "Where is Nia?" "In the waiting room. She's been texting her mother nonstop." Kai walked out of the room. Malik followed, ready to hold him back if necessary. But what happened next didn't require violence. It was worse. It was truth. Nia was sitting in the waiting room, scrolling through her phone, when Kai appeared. She looked up with a fake smile. "Baby, you're finally taking a break. Come, let's go get—" "Did you know?" Nia blinked. "Know what?" Kai held up Malik's phone. Pressed play, Mrs. Ellis's voice. The hitman's voice, the entire plan. Nia's face went pale. That's not... Kai, I can explain. Did you know? Nia's eyes darted around, looking for escape, looking for a lie. But there was nowhere to run. My mother was just... She was trying to protect us. Kai, that woman is ruining everything. You were supposed to marry me. We had a plan. A plan? Kai laughed bitterly. You had a plan to marry me for my money, to kill the woman who saved my life, to live off my wealth while you felt nothing for me. That's not... I heard everything, Nadia. I know about the debts. I know about your mother's scheme. I know that everything was a lie. Nia's mask finally shattered, her face twisted with rage. Fine, yes, it was a plan. Do you think a woman like me actually falls for a man like you? You're boring. Kai, you talk about technology and charity and saving the world. I wanted your money, your lifestyle, not your soul. The waiting room fell silent. Everyone was watching, doctors, nurses, patients, all staring at the billionaire and his unraveling bride. Kai nodded slowly. Thank you, Nia, for finally being honest. He turned to Malik. Call the police, show them the recording. I want Mrs. Ellis arrested for conspiracy to commit murder. No, Nia screamed. You can't. She's my mother. She tried to kill an innocent woman. She can explain that to a judge. Kai walked away. Nia fell to her knees, sobbing, but no one felt sorry for her. Mrs. Ellis was arrested that night, but Lena was still dying, and time was running out. Kai sat by her bedside, holding her hand. I'm sorry, he said. I'm so sorry I couldn't find you sooner. If I had found you, maybe... Shh. Lena squeezed his hand weakly. You found me now. That's enough. It's not enough. You need a kidney. I need to save you. Some things aren't meant to be saved, Kai. Don't say that. Don't you dare say that. The door opened. A nurse walked in with a clipboard, her face strange. Mr. Harlan, the doctor needs to see you immediately. Kai's heart clenched. Is it bad news? The nurse smiled. No, sir, it's a miracle. The doctor met Kai in the hallway. We found a match. What? How? I thought her blood type was... It is rare, extremely rare. But we found a perfect match, someone who is willing to donate. Pooh. Who? The doctor looked at his chart. You... Sir? Kai blinked. Me? When you were tested, we focused on the basic markers and dismissed you as incompatible. But one of our specialists took a closer look at your file today. Your deeper markers are a near-perfect match. It's extraordinary. Actually, like you were made for this. Kai didn't hesitate. Take it. Take my kidney. Do the surgery tonight. Sir, there are risks. You need time to... She saved my life. She didn't ask for time. She didn't weigh the risks. She just acted. Now it's my turn. The doctor smiled. I'll prep the surgical team. The surgery took hours. But when it was over, 2 people woke up with a new chance at life. Kai woke first. His side ached. His throat was dry. But he was alive. And across the room, in another bed, Lena was waking up too. Their eyes met. And for the first time, they were both exactly where they were supposed to be. Kai and Lena Voss were married, not in a cathedral with hundreds of guests and imported flowers, in a small garden with friends and flowers from Kai's mother's backyard. It was perfect. They used their combined fortune, because Lena was now Mrs. Harlan, after all, to build shelters for trafficking survivors across continents. Lena personally helped rescue women from the life she had escaped. She never forgot what it felt like to be invisible, and she made sure no one else would feel that way again. As for Nia and Mrs. Ellis was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder. She's serving time in federal prison. Nia lost everything: the apartment, the clothes, the lifestyle. She was last seen working as a waitress in a diner outside Atlanta. She still tells anyone who will listen that Kai ruined her life, but we all know the truth. She ruined her own. And the lesson of this tale, Sometimes the people who save us aren't wearing capes. They're wearing tattered clothes and bare feet. They're the ones who act when everyone else runs away. They're the ones who don't ask for credit. And if you're lucky enough to find them again, don't ever let them go. If this story touched your heart, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because every tale has a lesson and the archive never forgets.